All right, now I think I'm ready to go. All right, I'm pausing until this actually gets started. In the meantime, I'm going to open tables. Here's the app. I'm not going to play any big stakes, just small stakes. Tiny stakes, actually. This is 1/10 of my usual stake. If I see any table with someone like this, I'm definitely hopping on and hoping he loads. Yes, he loaded. And if I see, yeah, high VPIP action. One table. Probably everyone whiffed this, but we're going to wait till the turn to try something. And if I bet it should be big, I think just probing here just takes it down nearly all the time. It's kind of odd. Why would he not bet a queen on the flop? I'm kind of confused about this. What did he have? Yeah, that makes sense. A draw involving a 10 that he just calls. That's why I bet small instead of going for a big probe there. Because I think you need to bet. I don't think there's any reason to give up there. I mean, it's a slightly lower. Whoa! Look at this action. Oh my gosh! What did what table did I wind up on here? They're all brand new. Like clearly, it doesn't even know what VPIP they are. So I'm on a bunch of waiting lists, which is fine. Holy moly, 4 callers. That's not very nice. And no reason to bet here. All that it's going to do is let them trap you with a 9, call with any draw. Definitely no reason to start bluffing out of position. Multi-way, so I'm just going to chill. Like, it kind of reminds me of, I used to play against the bots a lot, and it would go like this, limp, 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 limp. Then I'd raise huge, and then they'd call, and then outplay me post-flop because they can share whole cards. Huh. That does seem very body. But I mean, I know they're not bots because Massiv doesn't have any, you know, I don't think they have had them, big problem with them. I mean, now they certainly don't have any bots at all, but it's not like there was never any question of them not having bots. But now there's no question at all that there are no bots on these tables. Like, it's not profitable to run them here because you just, even if you try something like that, they just kick the bots and then take all your money. They take all your deposit. The union takes the bot company's account, even if they were to try that. Yeah, this is just some heavy recreational action. Big 3-bet, cold call. What the heck is going on? I'm gonna check raise here. I have to check raise less versus the sizing. You can probably even fold. He still has. Maybe I should have bet large or even overbet there. Yeah, maybe that was a good spot for an overbet. I feel like half pot was pretty, like I didn't know what other sizing to use, so I just clicked half pot. So I have to keep watching for spots like that. It was also really strange because of the flop action, which is a little unusual. I'm always raising with these offsuit aces in that situation. So, alright. Oh, that's an interesting flop. I could hit a straight flush. I wonder if I just raise right now. No, I don't think I'm supposed to raise. What a ridiculous turn. What an absolutely, like, strange situation here. Yeah, I'm just checking this back. It's crazy. What is he doing? Welcome to online poker. I wonder if I can bluff here. I don't think I can. I think there's too little fold equity. Because who knows, we'll just, did I somehow win? No, I did not win. And you run into stuff like that where they're just sandbagging. There we go. I was slightly annoyed by this infinitesimally small spaces in between the windows, but I fixed that. I just realized it's kind of hard to see here. Let me fix this. Move myself up here. Yeah, okay, that's better. You don't need a huge picture of me. Okay, maybe a little bigger. A little bigger. There we go. Well, now you can't see his whole cards. Okay, there we go. That's fine. Oh, the stream's finally working. Ooh, what's going on over here? Short stack. Oh, that's a very strong big blind 3-bet. I don't think he can. Yeah, he can't fold. Getting it in strong range versus strong range. Yeah, for 40 bigs on these sites, that's a pre-flop setup for sure. I'm glad he ran. I'm glad he hit one run out because that keeps this short stack on my left. Keeps him on the table. Very easy, very profitable to have this kind of stack on the table, even if it's on your left. Canadian players are typically pretty strong. Well, not like strong, but yeah, there are more Canadian regs, I would say, than Canadian fish going around. But this guy's definitely fish. Not like I'm the strongest player in the world or anything, but I can at least tell who I'm up against. Alright, please don't go 4 ways with pocket aces. Okay, only 3. Top set with a spade. What is this called? A spade? Yeah. Not much to do. Except just check. Now, it got a little more complicated. You just have to pray that they hit something and bet. But this is not a very fun spot. I feel like this guy would just donk if he hit anything. He would donk lead the turn. Please check raise. Please check raise. Please have hit a 6. Some random 2 pair. Oh, he's just AFK now. What? I feel like that could be a YouTube short. Like, average pot with pocket aces. And then, you get 1 million likes and comments, and everyone's telling everyone else in the world how they got their aces cracked that one time at the casino. That's my dream. Oh wait, I take that back. Hitting bottom set is my dream. Just a small bet spot. Nice. Okay. I'm just gonna jam. This is a recreational player. When they raise the turn, it's only strong. Only strong. Yeah, and he can even call with something really, really crazy like this. Just a gut shot. Where's the 10% coming from, I wonder? Whew, finally, the set holds. Scooped up a nice $15 there. Always going to try to steal the blinds there with like this weak ace 4 and stuff. I'm always just going to raise because you have the antes. And you have a lot of people who really severely under-defend their big blind and don't understand the strategy, especially with the ante in play. Really messes up even really strong regs like you do see people. I remember when I played 5-10 with the big ante, and just the amount of blinds that you can steal on the button in a small blind is absolutely nuts. Against fish and regs. I feel like I opened too fast there, but it's not like anyone's paying really that close attention to a timing tell. I'm gonna bet big. Actually, versus this dude, you can't always rely on these VPIP things. I'm actually just gonna call. I don't think I'm gonna get really squeezed too often. This is terrible. This is like, don't try this at home territory. I think this should be a 3-bet a lot. Yeah, because of this. But this is always only a strong hand. This is only really strong. I'm not even going to... because this is facing under the gun. So I wonder how much value I can get from something like a jack. Probably a lot. Oh, he had a flush draw. Yeah, it's either like miss flush draw or just like a jack, a random jack. That's why I went for a smaller sized bet instead of going over the size of the pot. You can also just jam there, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe a jam would have been better. What am I doing? Thinking of opening queen 9. Oh, did my brain tell me to do that because the small blind went away? And I don't know. Playing tourneys will mess you up. Oh, another big pot brewing. I always like this 4-bet. I always like, yeah, 4-bet when the small blind 3-bets you. I will do it all the time, and people will never ever adjust. Even if they see me saying this online and then they see me on the tables later and I 4-bet them, they're still not going to 5-bet shove. They're just going to call at best. So, yeah, see? People don't know. So this guy looks like a calling station. This is ridiculous. I'm going to 3-bet this all day. Don't need to go too huge. I'm always going to 4-bet this reg. That worked. This is going to work too. You'll see. Oh, famous last words. It's a little tougher when it's in the small blind. It looks a little bit more bullshitty. Calls, huh? All right. I feel like he has a lot of 10-10. Actually, this is a more small bet spot, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, big bet. I'm just going to load in some money here with King Queen. So now there's a problem, which is that he has some Ace King and Ace Queen still. I think I'm going to even just check. I think it's easier to play as a check. If he bets... Okay, this I'm just going all in on this board with King Queen. Yeah, I'm going to jam here, unfortunately. It's a little bit of a 6 spot. It's really too merged. Like, this is kind of a leak that I probably have. It's just such a rare spot. But I just felt like jam was the right move. I just sort of went with my gut instinct. But I'm going to see if I can, like... Yeah, and I'm always ahead here. Wow, just raking it in. What a good session so far. Like, up one buy-in pretty immediately. Here, oh, he's just going to 4-bet huge. Going to 4-bet pretty big. Yeah. King, Queen doesn't open. Yeah, see? I told you, people are doing that all the time. I'm going to bet big here to avoid them floating too much with like weird bottom pair and stuff. I just want them to fold right now, kind of. Actually, that might not even be true. What? Wow. You can almost go for, like, Ace King already feels really awkward there. Like, that's really crazy. That's like almost always a set. Like, who's... No one's... Okay, this you can fold to. And this is from big blind with the pocket eights. This you have to 4-bet. Trust me on this. Really profitable. Okay, ace 8, maybe you can... It's a little too weak. But it's like an example of... Yeah. This is an example of a hand that I would even stop to think about and say, hey, maybe I should just be 4-betting this hand. It's a really weak hand. And he's 3-betting a lot in the small blind. Because some dumb vlogger told him that they needed to do that, and they can't just flat like ace 8 suited. And no one knows that I'm doing this, and no one knows that I'm gonna ever, how to adjust, even if they did know that. Awkward spot to check raise, but now this is a great spot to probe. I love to probe here. And I wonder how many like weak flush draw. I don't know. I'm even ahead. That should have been a smaller 3-bet. Yeah, I don't know what to do, if I should continue bluffing or not. I feel like if I bet, it would need to be really big. I have like a big size and then a small size. I'm not going to try to steal the blind from this kind of player. I'm going to leave this table soon. It's kind of crappy four-handed, like one fish. But who knows? This is a cool check back. I wonder if my checking range is protected on the top left. And he's going to get here with a ton of hands. I wonder if I can just raise, but I don't really know. I don't know if I should raise. I don't think I should raise there. This is a pretty bad hand to call down with. I'm just going to fold it. And I am going to hit the bad beat jackpot today. That's the plan. That is the plan. Four. You can fold this. It's like 0 EV open. It's like doesn't make you really all that much money, if any at all. S Java, is that like some Eastern European name? If it were, then I'd open this, but it's not worth it. It's too weak. Oh, what is he limping with? I'm going to try to steal here. I don't know if he has that much limp fold in that kind of position, that kind of configuration. And here I'll 3-bet. I'm going to 3-bet super wide. Or like semi like polarized. Like not wide, but like it's not like I'm 3-betting 5-7, but I'll take a hand like ace-8 offsuit and 3-bet it. And with this donk, I feel like he's limping a lot, and I'm going to raise because when he calls and we go to a flop, he's going to miss really often. And then it's not like he has king queen, and if he has 8-7, then good for him. I'm just going to shovel money in right now with top and bottom 2. Half pot donk is always like this kind of scared, like showdowny kind of, yeah. And I wonder if I can just jam. Okay, here I'll just jam ace queen versus like this 30-40 big blind stack. Again, yeah, he can have ace 10, ace jack, random stuff. Okay, queen, that's fine. I'm gonna rip it. And it's okay if the hand just ends now. Yeah, 35 bigs, ace queen is just getting it in. in this kind of game, I should say. Huge asterisk there, but I don't want to call at this kind of stack depth when he can 3-bet a lot in small blind, even at that stack size. And here, I'm actually going to bet kind of small. Not that small, but like 7.5 bigs. Totally fine to cold call the sevens, bottom left. And yeah, he can call with like queen, queen. And of course, yeah, I feel like just stringing him along. Yeah. I like the way I played this ace-king hand with really milky sizings, actually. Because he opened from early position and then called my 3-bet. It's not like late position versus late position. I don't think big blind is ever 3-betting. It's kind of sizing. I am torn about raising with this hand. I'm sort of torn about this. I just don't. Should I call? Yeah, I don't know what to do with ace 5. I guess I'll raise. Now I kind of took too long. I'm just gonna call. Oh my gosh, I hate that call. That's so stupid. I was talking too much. And why did I probe that when he can just easily have a 10? Because he snap checked on the turn. He would at least think about bluffing with some kind of 10x kind of hand, I think. So that snap back, a check back on the turn, I think is too weak. Too weak overall. That's why I probed. I just basically threw range analysis or hand reading completely out the window there, and that's completely fine. In that. Maybe I'm being results oriented, but it's okay because I went ahead. Four deuce I can limp, sure. Have some fun. I was considering raising that flop. Maybe I should have raised with the ace 5. Okay. I'm gonna raise for value with queen jack. Oh shit. That's snap mid raise. I'm gonna fold. Nice hand, buddy. Whoa, that was a crazy hand. I'm going to fold 5-4 to this size. You can just feel free to let that one kind of one go. Big size equals strong. So when you have no fold equity, you know, with a hand like that and no read on the player, well, it looks like his default open raise might be 4 bigs, so now I have a little bit more of a read. Maybe I can think about 3-betting, but Wow, I'm 2 for 2 for sets today. That's crazy. Let's see if I can stack them again. Okay. No, I'm gonna raise big. I'm gonna raise big. And I guess just get free money. Unless he hits some random backdoor. Yeah. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And always run it once. Always run it once. No sweat. Yes! Wow. Think King 6 should call. I'm going to leave this table. I have no idea what I'm doing free-handed with ante, all this bull crap, you know. Leave this table. Wow, this game is completely rigged. I had 2 sets hit and hold today. I got dealt 4 premiums that 2 of them got action, and they didn't win big pots, but they at least held. This looks like a really good table because it has pay to play players. I hope I don't have an audio delay. That would be not expected behavior. Alright, so we immediately have to guide this. This guy's a special kind of fish. I don't know what country this is. This is some, like, Middle Eastern country or something like that. I think it begins with an M, this flag. But anyway, players with that flag, whatever country that is, don't care about money whatsoever. I don't know what it is about that country. I think it's like Macedonia. And you do see them on the tables here in Massive Union from time to time. Macedonian or whatever it is. Maybe I got it completely wrong, but the total disregard for currency is astounding. I even thought about raising with this hand and stealing the blinds, but you can't do that all the time. You can't do that all the time on these tables where it's really limpy. With hands like this. Kind of feel like 3-betting this guy. I really feel like 3-betting this guy. Yeah, that worked out. That could have gone way worse. All right, 5th premium of the day. All right, I always have to like take a second and breathe and remind myself that I am capable of folding pocket queens pre-flop. I am capable. Okay. 80. I feel like this could be. Maybe I should have just jammed that. And pot size, I'm never calling. There. I'm also not paying attention to the ace 10 hands. I think I even could have. Yeah. That's why I looked at his VPIP. I mean, I know it's not really accurate because he only played like 20 hands, but still. No set. Oh, he's dead. Holy moly, pocket deuces. Just rips it. I don't like this situation at all. I hate this. Okay, that's a really small free bet. I'm gonna call. But I do not like this. Okay, now I really like this. I think half pot is a better sizing than anything smaller like third pot. Ace deuce, I am going to see bet right here. This is limped pot. Okay, I get the snap call. I think that's more indicative of a draw or something like that. I think I'm going to try to triple here. But a small bet here. Okay, this could be really dangerous. I'm not sure about this. I think I should have only bet if the turn card was like good for me or something like that. Now I'm going to check. Expect him to check back most of his showdown value. Jack 10 even got there. Yeah, and tag him as a calling station or kind of more passive kind of player. He didn't even really think about calling the flop. He was just like, I'm going to call and that's it. Okay, the top left table is getting very little of my attention. I'm actually going to cold call 10s in the small blind. I think that's the most profitable thing to do in this situation. And I think even if you ran this to a solver, which I'm never ever doing, I think even if you did, it would still have some call with 10-10. Like, you don't need to bet every hand. Okay, half pot, that can just be a stab with ace king. I'll call. I'm going to bluff here. I don't know. You know, on this turn, there's just nothing you can do, obviously. I expect him to barrel a lot. Should I bluff? If I bluffed, it would need to be really big, and it's just a sketchy situation. Okay, I'll bet small here. He can still have 8-8 and want to fold that. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think 9-9 was a little bit of an overplay. I think he's pretty balanced when he just calls with a flop. I don't think there's, you know I have the gut shot, but okay. Can I value bet this? No. I don't think I can value bet on that queen. That was a really lucky river. I don't know. I feel like I kind of am getting outplayed when I play that hand that way versus that guy. I'll fold king 10. Not strong enough. It's a lucky turn card. The problem being that I think I'm good. I think I'm ahead of the big blind, but I have some questions about the small blind. Maybe I should just raise right now. Very small right now. Yeah, I like this raise. It's probably incorrect. Okay, now I have to jam. And it's going to be a tank jam. And if, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna jam here. And I'm gonna expect to get called down fairly light. There's a lot of two pair that can call me and stuff. Well, then again, two pair jams their turn. I don't know, maybe the jam is just not right. But, if I ever had a bluff there in a million years, right, I would just jam. I'm never bluffing in that spot. Like, that's the thing. I would like to review that hand later. That was really interesting when I hit two pair on the river. Because it can be like a king queen diamonds that doesn't king queen, you know, something along that line, king jack that just doesn't believe me on these kinds of tables. But at the same time, then what am I doing raising the turn if I'm, you know? So I think the turn raise was pretty bad. Yeah. He let out into two people on that card that was good for me. Which is very basic poker logic to use, right? But probably folding the turn is best. If someone doesn't squeeze, I'll call king jack, queen jack. I can flop a straight. I can, you know. Queen 10 is a little more complicated. I'll limp in with the queen 10 offsuit. Now this guy list is really passive, which means two things. It means I can outplay him post flop. But also means that I definitely am behind right now. So, multi-way, I don't want to take this hand multi-way. If it were suited, maybe a different story. Yeah. That was definitely some kind of super premium. The way that played out. Could have been ace king. Of whatever. Ace king of hearts, ace king of diamonds, but I don't think so. That's a wild hand. Did he trap pre-flop? I didn't see. Definitely want to make a note of that, if so. Oh no, he just jammed. He just jammed right there on the flop. That's wild. Well, the player isn't there anymore, so I can't tag them, but... Calzone is here. Shout out to Calzone if you've ever seen him. Lock in. Let's go. Yeah, the king 5 hand was pretty crazy. This is wild. What do I even do with tens? I almost feel... Okay, I'll actually just cold call. That's pretty weird, huh? No, I don't mind cold calling every once in a blue moon in a situation like this. I have no read on this HHH player, and there's no way I'm getting stacks in, by the way, at this point. I have no read on him. I know that in general, people aren't free betting enough. Huh. At this point, I can't value bet the tens. Just have to see what he does. And this is a spot where I'm going to bet like 3 bigs to try to get called by ace king. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. I'm always going to slow play right in this kind of situation, try to stack somebody. If on the flop calls, that's going to be really tough. Okay, now I can safely call. If he has a set, then so be it. Wow, that's like the 6th premium that I had today. Let's see if this one holds. There's no way it's going to hold, right? No way. That's the game is rigged. There's no way aces is supposed to hold. Like, this is the 5th time today or something that I had a premium hold for 4 streets. Absolutely rigged game. I'm so frustrated. I'm gonna file a bug report on this. That was ridiculous. I'm gonna complain to the union. I'm gonna complain to ClubGG and ask them to check out their RNG. That was absolutely unacceptable. Bad software design. What's supposed to happen there is that I'm supposed to get cracked on the river. Although I did make a major mistake there, which was not folding aces pre-flop, because it had already been too many times that my aces had held today. I had run out of, my aces holding pass. So you have to be mindful of that stuff. Also, you got to stay balanced, right? So folding pre-flop, just for balance. Super sun run. Well, not super. I'm up 1, 2, 3, 4 buy-ins. Okay, that is a super sun run. 4 buy-ins and well, why would I consider 4 buy-ins to be a sun run? But if I were down 4 buy-ins right now, I'd be like, I'm breaking even. Maybe I need to examine my inner self. All right. Again. I have to play a premium. And now I have to play it in what might be a... Okay, we might be in a deep stack kind of situation here, so I have to lock in. All right, I'm actually going to 3-bet huge. I'm only going to have one size in this kind of situation. Actually, that kind of makes it interesting, because if this guy jams, this guy can only call. I didn't really think about that. Huh. Well. I'm checking my entire range here. I'll bet like 1 big. 3 big blinds, which is a little less than his stack. See? I was kind. I left him with a little bit behind. I'm steamrolling. Absolutely rolling them over today. Getting so lucky. Even when I didn't have premiums, I hit all my sets, right? All of them. And once I was in this sketchy situation with ace queen and hit trips, I didn't get paid, but if only this were at high stakes where I've, been on this ridiculous like 12, 20 buy-in downswing. That would be nice. Always betting here. 1.5. Ace queen might triple off, I'm not sure. I'll just do some random bluff here and just get called. Now, there are even more hands that can call me, not believing, now that this 4 hits. And he can even donk. And if I win the hand, I have to raise. Half pot, huh? I think it's a fold. I don't mind just folding here. I think he can even have a made straight. I wonder if with ace queen I can jam. I can jam that river. That would be kind of cool. Actually, yeah, I think I should have just jammed 10x over bet jammed with ace queen. I think he's folding pretty much everything. I should have thought that through a little bit more. Kind of fun to talk about when you're not in the hand. Always going to squeeze. Actually, maybe I should have just called. And I wasn't paying attention to my sizing here, but it's okay. Cold collar's sketchy. I love doing the snap fold and disappointing them. Yeah, I should have bet a little smaller, I think, but it's okay. So now I'm in this wild situation. I'm not going to c-bet. I'm going to tank and tank and tank and tank and tank and then check. And then blocking 10 jack, I'm just going to fold. It's as sad as it is, I'm going to just fold. My little shred of equity is just too far away. All right, third set of the day. Third one. Oh, that's delicious. You love to see all those flatters lighting up. Come on, Cyberslav. I know you're using a VPN. I know you're in your mother's basement somewhere in rural Russia. I know you can do it. Oh, I was rooting for a flat call. Man, the dealer's going to make me wait till the turn to hit my set. This donks. I would be getting overset by 6-6. I guess you can have some Jack 10 as well. I don't know. But I think this is a recreational. You see this flag, it's a lot of recreational players, but still, even, you know, a strong player would consider leading out with this pretty strong hand in a situation like that. I'm going to 3-bet this guy again. Ace King. That's like 8 premiums I've gotten dealt. Then again, this is not a great table right now. Yeah, the big sizing here. Probably over defend. I'm more inclined to like 3-bet. Yeah. And I'm gonna raise with value. And yeah, I'm not gonna just flat call here. There are no turn cards that are good for me. And yeah. Okay, only half the deck is good for me. I'll admit that. King Jack off under the gun is usually a fold. It sort of depends. So, I mean, I'm sure if you plugged all of this in, you know, to some solver or something like that, because you do have the ante in here, and you do have some pre-flop ranges that are a little bit wild. I'm going to leave this table because it's not a good table. You would have some degrees of openness, especially shorthanded like this. Like what is this, low jack over here? Yeah, you can open. I think you would see some partials of open, but it's not going to be that profitable of an open, and you're going to have to get ready to do things like bluff pre-flop with it. So it's kind of complicated, and to simplify the strategy, it's often better just to fold. I'm going to check back ace 9. Small bet. He's going to fold a ton here, yeah. That's why it's a small bet. But anyway, yeah, sometimes it's just too complicated to open with those really marginal hands and to make so many adjustments to your strategy in real time, especially when your opponents are going to have, they're not going to know what they're doing. They're going to be like doing random shit a lot, and it's just going to depend on their mood as well. So I just prefer to avoid all that sometimes. But that said, in really soft games, those hands that can just hit top pair and be good a lot of the time when a reasonable amount of money goes in the pot, yeah, I'll be opening, but I'll use a little smaller sizing, maybe like 2.2 bigs or something like that. Okay, that was a lot of complicated poker talk. All right, I need to say something to this chat. Einstein Bros Bagels Shop sucks. You should get a name. Um, 14.5. I don't think I just don't think I have a profitable defend here. Yeah. It's not like people are keeping an eye on me like, oh, he's opening too much in hijack. Oh, I've seen like 3 showdowns with him where he showed a marginal hand when he opened and then triple barrel bluff and all this. It's not like they're thinking about that. I mean, yeah, see? It's always like going to be like ace king or worse. Ace 4, yeah, that would be 1. So he can pre-flop bluff. I'll ignore that entire tirade because apparently this guy is bluffing like a maniac. As a matter of fact. Maybe the ace queen was a wild fold, but I liked that fold. Like, if you have no information on a player, that ace queen is just not going to be making a whole lot of money. Although I did notice his sizing was kind of... Yeah, you're going to have odds. I have odds to call here and hit. Like, what do I need? Like 25%? And I'm never bluffing, ever. Yeah. So I'll give him a donkey tag. Four, 5. I'll actually just call and see if this recreational wants to hop in. Yeah, he does. He does. I'll call once here. I'll check here. Although I thought about leading out, but I know he's really not going to like to bluff the turn. He might not even want to value bet the turn. I'm not going to try to steal. Ooh, 7-4. That would have been a great bluff. What are you doing, man? You gotta bluff with that gut shot. At least put something in the pot. Try to triple. Like better size where you know if you get raised you can safely fold. And you cap your opponent's ranges if you get called in one or more spots. And try to get this guy to call with his queen 10 or whatever, queen deuce, and then fold on the river inevitably. See, if it's someone else's money, then it's a lot easier to gamble. I think I have my FPS on way too high. I'm trying to make this thing go 60 FPS, but I don't think it's quite I don't think my bandwidth is quite that level. I got that like the cheapest internet package that can do a semi-reasonable frame rate for streaming. I didn't get the full package. Einstein Bros. I had to eat that like every day when I was in college because they had this meal package that you bought that was like unlimited food, and I got it. But they only had like 4 restaurants. One of them was like Panda Express. Another one was Chick-fil-A. Another one was like just the normal cafeteria, Greasy Spoon cafeteria. And there was an Einstein Bros, but it was like special. You could only get like one meal there per day. But I was way overexposed to Einstein Bros. That kind of rhymes. All right, let's find another table. I'm actually just going to play 3 because I was even getting distracted with 4 tables and trying to talk about them. So no reason to push it. And now I'm going to finally load this one. Who needs to load? So bear with me 1 second. Open Discord. I'm always going to try to steal here. Yeah. Squeezes wide pre. I'm actually just gonna call. I'm gonna try to hit a set of deuces because I've been running lucky with sets. It's a nice little flop there. Nice little flop. I know this guy can be pretty aggressive, so even that said, I'm just gonna call and yeah. Yeah. He checks. I feel like I'm going to screw up this turn pretty bad. Because if he's a pretty aggressive player, oh wow, that's a sick hand. Did you see that? If he is a really aggressive player, then by betting the turn, I don't really accomplish much because nothing worse calls and nothing better folds. It's that kind of thing. Well, a few worse things can call. A few worse things, but probably not enough to justify just betting out for protection or whatever. I don't know. With the king in my hand, especially. Yeah. That said, I don't think it's a massive mistake to bet. Just bet your hand for value, right? Let him call with ace king or pocket tens. Okay, where's my note on pity? Squeeze wide pre. And here's an example where I'm just going to call on the small blind and try to let this recreational player in. If the recreational player 3-bets or squeezes, I am obviously out of there. Now I feel bad for making fun of Einstein's. The guy left the table. Here's a spot where I'm just gonna I think that free betting with ace 10 would just kind of be overvaluing my hand. And I'm going to think about either jamming or folding. He seemed to be kind of wide pre, so I'll just jam. This guy can have some sets. Pity can have some sets after he called pre-flop. Yeah, see. And we'll take a pure flip here. 400 bigs. Oh! And I'm going to exploit fold against pot size. And show. Just to crush his soul. Yeah, no one is doing this. I mean, that one guy that I managed to get a note on, no one's doing this light. Here I'm just going to call with fours. I don't expect this guy to squeeze a lot though, so kind of sucks. Oh, it worked out. I get to see a free turn. Okay. Could still be good. So I highly doubt he's checking any queen on the flop. And snap call means draw. I don't know. I think I'm just not going to be good on so many rivers too. Yeah, that was just a stab. But even then I was behind. So he had a double gut shot. Kings. What is this? Life is a simulation. That's what another vlogger says. Let's bump it up a little bit. Just normal men. Limp jam. Huh. I'm gonna take my time here. I want this guy in. That's the only reason why. Oh, he was snap folding. Ace king. But once might be hold again. I don't think it can. That would be wild if it holds this many times. I hit a saw on the river just for funsies. That's like what, 3 for 3? Or let me see. I only didn't hit sets with 2 pocket pairs, and I had like a bazillion pocket pairs. So beautiful. So I'll just make a note. This player 2 limp rejam ace king off. Really bad move, by the way. Okay, I'll try it for my implied odds with the 3s and whiff. Ooh, maybe I can bluff. Is he really calling a 3-bet with... Well, I'm not really bluffing. I'm just way too merged, right? Like, this bet is kind of a mistake, but I just think I get fold so often here, especially when he checks. He would at least think about betting if he had a straight, you know, instead of check raising, being afraid of flush draws, whatever, shit like that. And you might be surprised what they'd fold too. Check fold. Okay, this session was absolutely insane. Yes. Okay, it's not a massive grand piano.